terrorism and extremism in the name of Islam have existed since the 80s, and it continues to exist today, be it in the name of the Taliban, under the banner of Al-Qaeda, under the title of Al-Shabaab in other parts of the world, or in the form of the TTP, and most recently, ISIS has taken charge of terrorism at the global level. In these 35 years, the name, form, methodology, and slogan of this extremism and terrorism may have been different, but the ideology and motivating factor behind it has remained the same, which is a perverted interpretation of Islam and the misapplication of the concept of jihad. While on one hand, the terrorists and Kharijites were changing their appearances and targets over the last 35 years, on the other hand, a voice was continually heard saying, "Islam is a religion of peace. The message of Islam is love. Terrorism and extremism has no link whatsoever with Islam." This was the voice of Dr. Tahir al-Qadri. Well before 9/11, those powers and institutions who are currently working against terrorism were either supporting or helping terrorists due to their vested interests, or had turned a blind eye to their activities. Even at that time, Dr. Tahir al-Qadri categorically condemned terrorism and extremism while conveying the teachings of peace and love.
So Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam eliminated the concept of the difference of race and color. Your blood, your property, and your respect and honor, they have been made so dignified as the dignity of Kaabatullah, as the dignity of Makkah. So what better, the best form of the world peace message was given by the Holy Prophet.
So the man who is not living a peaceful life for the mankind, in the eyes of Islam, he cannot be regarded as a good Muslim. The word Islam, it means peace, to provide the peace, to be in peace, and to let others live in peace. This is what Islam means.
He said, "Oh my people, fitna, destruction of deen and disruption in deen would come out and would emerge from this side. Fitna would emerge from this side. Fitna would emerge from this side." And companions say he was standing and saying, and he was pointing towards the east. He was pointing at Al-Harura, the first ever capital of Khawarij, where the liberty movement, liberation movement started, in the name of Al-Haruriyya.
The major threat and danger for the mankind is radicalism and terrorism, and we have to fight against every kind, every form, and every manifestation of terrorism, wherever it is.
Dr. Tahir al-Qadri's academic and ideological efforts in promoting peace and countering terrorism were not limited to any specific area or country, but his voice was heard in all continents of the globe.
Terrorism is terrorism. Violence is violence. It has no place in Islamic teachings, and no justification can be provided to it on the basis of any kind of excuses or ifs or buts.
Islam declares killing of mankind or killing of a human being, whether a Muslim is being killed or a non-Muslim is being killed, a forbidden act. And if this act of killing takes place with a particular idea that this act of killing is lawful and permissible, or I would be rewarded for that, then this act of killing of mankind becomes an act of kufr, act of disbelief.
There are two basic, Quranic and the Holy Prophet Sunnah basic, that maximum Muslims are hating. They can hate a particular decision, a particular action. So Quran says even there is a lawful hatred, but you, in spite of this lawful hatred, you cannot act unjustly.
who saves and secures the life and honor and property and everything of the human being. Holy Prophet said, according to my teachings, he is the member of my ummah. He is Muslim.
Nobody has an authority to give the nomenclature or to give the title of Islam or Jihad to his own wishes, to his own personal perceptions.
Muslim is the promoter of peace. Muslim is the protector of peace. Muslim is the demonstrator of peace. Any person who works against peace and security, he has no link with the teachings of Prophet Muhammad and teachings of Quran.
In Quran, there are 35 verses in total containing the word of jihad or the commandment of jihad or mentioning of jihad in any form. None of them, I mean not a single verse out of 35, include or put the word or commandment of jihad and qital together in the text of a single verse. 60 verses in Quran discuss with the matter of qital. None of those verses contain the word of jihad together with qital.
I always used to say, don't follow Usama, follow Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And don't follow Al-Qaeda, follow Al-Quran. Follow Khulafa al-Rashidin and companions of Prophet Muhammad. Follow Abu Bakr and follow Umar. Follow Usman and follow Ali. These are our leaders. At the raising of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when the total dignity of mankind was lost, when there was a system of brutality all over the world, people were cutting the necks of each other. There was racial discrimination, religious discrimination, tribal discrimination. There was no respect for slaves. Islam stood up for the poor people. Islam stood up for the oppressed people. Islam stood up for the orphans, stood up for women, stood up for children, and he gave the respect, he gave the dignity to the whole mankind, irrespective of their religion, irrespective of their culture, irrespective of their race. So this is Islam who came for the unity at the globe. This is Islam who came for promotion of peace at this globe. This is Islam who came for the dignity of mankind on this globe.
Dr. Qadri has not only been arranging conferences and seminars around the world and condemning every form of terrorism and extremism, but he has also authored around 30 books on different aspects of countering extremist ideologies and the misdirected jihadi narrative. At a time when people from all over the world, including the younger generation, are in some form or the other being influenced by the terrorist ideology, there is the likelihood of young Muslims being influenced by the terrorist ideology. There is also the possibility of Islamophobia becoming rife in non-Muslim communities as a reaction to terrorist ideology and activities. At such a juncture, Dr. Tahir al-Qadri's global movement for the promotion of peace, Minhajul Quran International, has prepared such a comprehensive curriculum. Islamic curriculum on peace and counter-terrorism, which is equally beneficial for Muslims and non-Muslims.
Basic challenge is not only the ISIS. The basic challenge is that extremist mentality which aims at creating hatreds and which aims at cutting the necks of mankind. This is just for the sake of expansion, of power. We have to tackle radicalization and extremism at its source.
It is a real pleasure to be here at the launch of this curriculum against terrorism and extremism.
It is a particular honour to be here today with Dr. Qadri and to share this platform. whose books have been inspirational and groundbreaking. And Dr. Qadri's seminal work will take us on that road to success.
Thank the Shaykh al-Islam for the seminar and what he's starting off. And it's important in our communities, in our schools, to get this message across.
We will certainly implement it in our ranks. You have done this for us. Soon after Ramadan, this course will go into our mosques.
I'm sure this is going to be a great contribution towards the true teachings of Islam.
And I really want to congratulate His Eminence, His Excellency, for taking this inspirational, courageous step once again.
This youth need you more scholarly, because we don't find in this continent of Europe people like you. We were having Razi, Kundi, Farabi, Biruni, but we don't find them anymore. You are the light for us. You have revived that role of forward-looking Islam in this country.